computer. We're recording now.
Recording. Okay.
So tell us.
Uh,
So why do you study English? What's motivating you?
I study English because of many reasons. One of them, the one that motivates me more, every time it
Uh-huh.
remind me that okay, I should keep going. Is it that there's a lot of resources online and like in general, and the thing that interests me, like if ever I want to search about or read about something that interests me, I can find a lot of resources in English other than better than any like language, like my native language. There's not that much resources in
So what
anything.
kind of topics do you mean? What kind of topics do you like to read about in English?
Like I mean, in general, I remember once upon a time, like 5 years ago, I was in high school. I don't
Uh-huh.
remember, six
You
years.
speak English very well, by the way. It's very fluent.
Thank you very much. I tried to work very hard. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah, and
very
it's
long.
paid off. It's paid off. Your hard work has paid off.
It was a very long journey, actually.
Uh-huh, I understand it. Learning another language always is a never-ending journey. Yeah, it never ends. It
Exactly.
goes on forever. And I think your progress is always, with learning a language, it's quite slow progress. You don't learn
Exactly.
it in 5 minutes. And so you don't even notice your progress sometimes, but it's there. And you can only notice it over a course of years rather than over a course
Exactly.
of days.
Exactly. Suddenly you see like, oh, mine is better now than like a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can only do it when you compare to a few years ago rather than a few weeks ago. It's always hard to see it because it's so imperceptibly slow. Um,
Exactly.
and so,
Exactly.
yeah, which topics do you read about? Do you like science or do you like history, politics, economics? Which topics do you like to read about in English?
Most technology,
Uh-huh.
I watch a lot of YouTube about the thing that starts my was searching about new technologies on YouTube like in 2016. So
Uh-huh.
there was a lot of information that was amazing to me that I never came across before.
Excellent.
But well, one thing, but in general, like anything you want, you can find someone talking about it in online. Like I remember once upon a time, I told you when I was in high school, I was riding my bicycle and the chain broke or the chain
The
get
chain
out.
came off. Yeah, the chain comes off your bicycle very often. I'm a cyclist as well, and the chain does sometimes comes off.
Yeah, I'm not cyclist. It's rare to me to it's rare in my area in general to ride the
Uh-huh.
bicycle. So it was the first time that I came across this issue. Like, what? It's broken. What can I do? There is no one can help me. And what there wasn't anyone around me at that time. So I had my phone in my pocket. I tried to search on YouTube,
Yeah.
and
Fixed
I
bike
I
chain.
I
Yeah,
I
something
found
like that.
someone explain me how to do it immediately. And
Yeah, it only
that
takes a few
moment,
seconds. Yeah, when you know and you just get it on one thing that you push the pedals around and then suddenly it's back on again.
it was amazing to me because it was the first time fixing the thing. I have no experience in it
Yeah, I
before.
know what you mean. I did the same recently with my boiler when I saw the boiler was a very low pressure or a very high
Eh?
pressure actually, and I had to drain the water out the boiler. I found a video on YouTube. It showed me which part of the boiler to basically to let the water out so that the pressure would come down. And I know nothing about plumbing, but I could easily do it with the YouTube video. It made it very, very simple, very clear.
Yeah, exactly. That's moment. Like it was like one of the first moment that something like that happened to me sparked in my mind that okay, I need to study more. Especially at
Yeah.
that time, my English wasn't best, wasn't at speak because when I was searching, I do a little bit of I didn't know the word of chain. What
Uh-huh.
I
You didn't
called
know the
it.
word for chain. Yeah, you didn't know the
Yes,
word for
the
chain.
chain.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, chain. That's it, chain. So what I did it was search for Google bike parts. Okay, I
Bike
found bike
parts. Yeah.
parts.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay, that's very. So I found a diagram showing every bike, and oh, what is this chain? Okay, okay, this is the word that I'm looking for, and I search
Excellent.
online, search YouTube on it. I
You can
get
always find the answer out there on the internet, and I understand you. It's always in English. It's not in German or Russian or Japanese. It's
exactly.
always in English. You need to know this language just to use the internet to its full capacity, yeah, to its full potential.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so we usually do stories here, but we can do grammar topics as well. I have both. It's up to you what you want to do. I'll give everybody who's here 10 minutes, and it really is up to you. Do you want to tell a story, or do you want to do a grammar exercise? Because sometimes people prefer to do an exercise. Sometimes people prefer to do open speaking and just retell a story, maybe from a cartoon, or maybe a book that you've read, or a film that you've seen. What would you
Okay.
prefer to do?
For me, I think my grammar is my weakest point because I don't
Well,
like
you're using
really.
it very fluently in your speech, which is great.
Yeah,
You are using
it's
the
kind of
grammar
automatic.
correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's great. It should be automatic. It needs to be automatic, especially for speaking.
yeah, especially for speaking. But the downside is when I if I want to like a few years, I want to take the IELTS exam.
Okay.
I would have to have some kind of better grasp of grammar so I can
For
write
the
it in the
writing
writing.
part, yeah, I understand. To make sentences correctly for the writing part. Well,
Yeah, exactly.
we can do random a grammar exercise which is random. It does te tenses, conditionals, lots of different things. Would you like
Good.
something like that, which is really random?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
It will
let's.
be a good, it will be also a good test for me because I've been watching your grammar course, the
Uh-huh,
first
uh-huh.
part. I finished like half of it. Like,
Excellent, excellent. This is where I learnt my grammar in this book. This is one of the English file books, and I started teaching English with English
Oxford
file.
Learning. What's
It's
the name?
it's Oxford University Press, and so that's just the publisher. But the name of the book is English File. It's this one.
Oh, English
This is the
file.
student's book, but I'm taking this exercise from the teacher's book.
It looked
But
like it's an old book.
it's a very old book, and yeah, it's where I started my career with this book. So it was 20 years ago, and I learned
Hmm.
everything that I learned for today really from this book and a few other books. That I thought they were very good. I like the English file books. I think they're very clearly written. So what do you think for number one? And be careful. There are a lot of difficult answers here. Let me see if I can get the
Okay.
text that I can write it in there. Yeah.
Put the
What do you
verb
think? But by
in
this time
between.
next week, is it big enough for you guys, by the way? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay, I
Yeah.
guess.
So by this time next week, we our exams, and you have to use the verb finish.
By this time next week, we finished. We have by by this time next week.
It's this by that means
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to use a certain tense here. When you say by this time, we very often use
We should
perfect
have
tenses.
been not had been finished our exam.
You could say we should have finished. That's correct. We should have finished is correct. By this time next week, we should have finished. It's an excellent answer, in fact. Very good answer. Or, if you prefer, will have finished. But should works very well. I agree that should is absolutely correct. By this time next week, we should have finished, or by this time next week, we will have finished. Both correct. And the reason is we need to use a perfect tense when we have by this time. Yeah, there needs to be the perfect aspect. I don't know. Have you done the perfect aspect in the
Yeah,
course
yeah,
on grammar? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
excellent.
I reached the gerund part.
Gerund? Yeah.
Yeah, a new course,
Oh, you've
master
reached
grammar
gerunds.
course.
Yeah, I see. You have reached gerunds. Yeah, you have
Yeah,
already done gerunds.
yeah.
So yeah, this is the perfect aspect. It's perfect simple. Yeah, will have finished, should have finished, and it really is by this time. I like students to know that by this time is a signal that you have to use a perfect tense. Not in every situation, but in a lot of situations we use perfect tenses after by and then time period. So yeah, very good start. Excellent. Try number two.
You will easily recognize me. I something.
Uh-huh.
I
And
want.
sorry, yeah, the verb is wear. Sorry, I'll move our
Yeah,
faces.
a white jacket and a blue tie. You will easily recognize me. I am wearing that. I think I'm
It's
wearing
in the
a white.
future, though. I am wearing is right now. Yeah, I am wearing a white jacket and blue tie. But you're saying in the future, you will easily
Ah,
recognize me
in the future.
because,
As I say, alright, in the future, I'll be
I'll be very
wearing.
good. Very good. I'll be wearing. Yeah, you've got very good instinct for the tenses. I'll be wearing. Yeah, is great.
That's future continuous tense. Yeah, I'll make it clearer by putting will, actually, otherwise it's a bit. I will be wearing, yeah, future continuous we use here because you will be in the middle of wearing a white jacket and blue tie. And again, I like students to understand that this verb wear is nearly always in continuous. Yeah, I am wearing, I will be wearing. It's rare that you need it in simple. If you say what you wear every week, yeah, I go to school and every week I wear a school uniform, okay, then you need simple. But a lot of the time you need continuous with wear.
Can I get out of contents for a minute?
Go on, please. You've got a question, yeah?
Yesterday, I was reading a book, and they mentioned a sentence. He wear a small smile in his face.
He wore a small smile on his face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. He wore a small smile on his face. Yeah, you can. You can
It-
wear
it-
a smile.
that was a new concept for me. Like, I know you
Yeah.
can wear your
It's
hair.
rare. Being honest, it is rare. It's a rare phrase, but I recognize it as a phrase to wear a smile on your face. Yeah, I suppose it's quite literary, quite poetic. It's not everyday English, but still it works. He wore a smile on his face.
Yeah, I was reading uh, adaptive adapted book for children for the
Uh-huh.
book
Uh-huh.
Crime and Punishment.
Okay, crime and punishment for children. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Uh, yeah, it
Yeah,
was
why not? Why
like
not?
nice
I
reading.
love the book. I really do. I love Crime and Punishment.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
was it in English? Yeah, I assume the
Yeah, yeah,
Crime and
it's in
Punishment for
English,
Children in
but it
English.
was
That's
adapted
interesting.
for children.
Yeah,
That's
I've never
crazy.
seen. I do have an adapted Crime and Punishment text, but it's for people learning Russian, and so it's like one of the adapted texts for learning English, where they've made it smaller and easier to read.
Yeah.
Because of course there are some difficult parts in that book.
Oh, I've tried to read it in my native language, Arabic. It was a heavy book.
It's a heavy book, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a heavy going book, certainly. But yeah, I'm very impressed with your English. I really am. Go for number three. Try number three.
Okay, okay. Uh, my hair, my hair is too long. I am going to something.
Yeah.
Something
Okay. Yes. Oh,
this
sorry.
afternoon.
Not very good at using these.
My
Zoom.
hair
There we
is
go.
too
So
long.
you need to use the verb cut here. You
Oh,
need to
cut.
use
Oh,
the verb
yeah.
cut.
My hair is too long. I am going to cut it.
Well, I mean, that might be what I do sometimes. Sometimes I do cut it myself, but usually people get
Ah,
somebody
yeah,
else
yeah.
to do it.
I'm
Yeah.
going to have to. Okay, so someone will have cut it for me.
I'm
So
going
I should.
to go on. You just use the right verb.
I'm going. I'm going to had cut it. Have okay.
I'm going to go on. You're using the right verb
Let's
again. I'm going to
have it cut it for me.
excellent. Have it almost have it cutted or have it cut.
Have it cut. Yeah, yeah.
Have it cut exactly because it's cut, like
Yeah.
put, set. There is no difference in the past tense or the present tense. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
going to have it cut this afternoon. This is
Yeah.
have something done. Yeah, and so if you pay somebody to do something for you, you have it done. I'm going to have the car repaired. I'm going to have my hair cut. I'm going to have my eyes tested. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called
Okay.
causative, this grammar. If anyone's wondering where you can find it in the grammar course, for example, it's called causative. It's probably in the passive section, although it's not technically passive, but I think it's similar to passive. Just because you get somebody else, it's when you pay somebody else to do something for you. You can also say, by the way, if anybody's wondering, can I say get it cut? Yes, you can. I'm going to get it cut. I'm going to have it cut this afternoon. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. One more, I think. One more. Abdullah Khan. Abdullah Ahman. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
Trying to get the name
The
right.
second.
Yeah. Number four. Try number four now, and then we'll go on to another student, and we'll always do that.
You shouldn't something. You shouldn't tell him. You know he couldn't keep a secret.
So couldn't
You
is
shouldn't
in the
have.
past.
You
Good.
shouldn't
Good.
have
Shouldn't
to tell
have.
him.
Excellent. Shouldn't
You
have.
should. You
And then
shouldn't have tell him.
have, and then third form. Tell. What's the third form of tell?
Told.
Told, exactly. Shouldn't have told him. Shouldn't have told him. Just like should have finished. And notice, I want you to notice here, everybody, that in number four, shouldn't have told is about the past. But in number one, when you said by this time next week we should have finished, that's about the future. And so should and have and the third form, it might be about the past or it might be about the future, but it's always about completion, because perfect aspect is about completion. It focuses on completion. But do notice these things, because it makes it easier to, for example, translate a text or something like that. Be aware that should have done might be about the past or it might be about the future. It depends on the context. Okay, so excellent. Really, really good, Abdul. I'm really impressed by your tenses. And I think that this is a really hard, well, this is the end of the book test. I think it's
My
very
problem
difficult
is
test.
that
Go on.
it came subconsciously, but when I try to put it in a test or try to produce it or like
You
put it in
produce it
words.
very well in your speaking spontaneously, and so I'm very impressed. You know, like you do produce these forms as you're speaking, and it's very clear. Your pronunciation is excellent, really, really clear really easy to understand you, and so really good. I'm impressed with your skills. Excellent work.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's move on to. I want to make sure it's a new face, because I always say new faces take priority. So I don't think I've seen Natalia before, have I? Natalia, are you a new face?
You've seen it once.
Once. Okay, well, let's go on to Natalia. Would you prefer to do questions, grammar questions, or would you prefer to tell a story? It's completely up to you. Each student.
No, we can go on. We may continue. Sorry.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. What do you think for number 5 then? I wish I.
I haven't forgotten my camera.
Say that again. Was that haven't or hadn't?
Oh, I wish I maybe hadn't.
Good.
Yeah?
Yes, exactly.
But I wish I haven't. Yeah, I wish because I wish. Yeah.
Because of wish.
I had not forgot my camera.
Excellent. Had not forgotten. Yeah. Excellent.
But after wish, we use past tense. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a few forms with wish. There are a few forms. You can use I wish plus past simple for present regrets. And that, for example, is I wish I were tall, for example. Yeah, something like that. I wish I were taller. I wish I were richer. And notice the subjunctive. I were rather than I was. Yeah, I wish I were taller. We use the subjunctive because it's a hypothetical. And so this is another situation. There aren't many, but it's another situation when you can use subjunctive. Some people would say, I wish I was taller. Some people would, you know, you do hear native saying was here as well. But wish and past perfect is for past regrets, and this is a past regret. It happened in the past. You forgot your camera in the past, yeah, and so I wish I hadn't forgotten my camera. And there is one more actually, which is I wish plus would, yeah, plus I wish plus person, yeah, plus object plus would. This is when you're complaining. I wish you wouldn't drive so fast, something like that. Yeah, I wish you wouldn't do that. And so we do use that one as well for complaints. I would say it's when there's always a complaint in your voice when you're saying, oh, I wish you wouldn't do that. Yeah. Okay, come on to number 6. Natalia, keep going.
It was my fault. I hadn't had that cup of coffee.
So if I hadn't had
if I hadn't had that cup of coffee, we wouldn't have missed the train.
Excellent. Very, very good.
Wouldn't have missed.
Yeah, I heard it all. I think you got that all. Wouldn't have missed. You need all 3 words here, certainly.
Third conditional.
Excellent. Third conditional. And notice it is just a perfect modal, like should have finished, or what was the other one we had earlier? We had another one, didn't we? We had shouldn't have told. So it's just a modal verb and then the perfect form of the modal verb. Have done, have been, have missed. Excellent. And yeah, it is third conditional. Okay, very good. Number 7.
You would have seen them. You would have seen them if you...
Difficult.
If you had come.
Very good. What kind of conditional is this?
If you had come before, so before the other action happens, is it kind of mixed?
It is. Excellent. It's a mixed conditional. This is mixed second and third, and that's why I think it's a difficult one. And so well done for getting it correct. You're all doing really well on this. I tried to find a very hard exercise, but you're all doing really well so far. Keep going, Natalia. You're on a roll. Karen's very late.
Karen's very late. She might... the house is difficult to find. She might, just a minute. She is very late. She's very late now. Yeah.
But
So
she got lost in the past. Well, she might.
She might have lost.
Have.
She might have lost. She might get. She might got lost.
She might have got
Have
lost.
got lost.
Yeah, she might have got lost. So this
She
is
might have got lost. Yeah.
perfect modal again. Yeah, just like shouldn't have told, wouldn't have missed, might have got. It's still a modal verb with the perfect form. And we use these very often for when we're talking about the past and making deductions about whether something happened or didn't happen. Yeah, and so might have got lost. Maybe she got lost. We're not sure. Yeah. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Please always ask if there are any, but keep going then. On to number 9. Very good.
So shall I continue?
Yeah, please switch the TV off.
Switch the TV off. You switch the TV. You have been watching. So it should be continuous because it is a command to switch to do something. You have been watching for at least 3 hours.
Excellent. That's
so you were in
the
the process of doing something and you should stop doing it.
Yeah, I would even say it's because of 4. I mean, really, when you see 4, you immediately need to think perfect tenses. Yeah, I have been living here for 3 years. I have been studying English since. It's another perfect word. Yeah. Always focus on the signal words for tenses. It makes tenses much easier. And I think you don't have to think then about if you're in the middle of something or not. I mean, in the middle of something, I would say is always continuous, but this is perfect continuous because of 4, and it's a dynamic verb. It's not a stative verb. It's dynamic. We usually see watch in continuous, just like wait. Yeah, you have been waiting here for 10 minutes or whatever. Wait is usually in perfect continuous as well, just like watch and live and work and a number of other verbs. Okay, what do you think for number 10?
I think he wishes so if we have wish, we should be we should use just a minute.
I'll put them up here.
It is quite a tricky one.
It's one of these ones. It is one of these ones up here. I wish plus
Is it the first one?
I think so.
Just a minute. I think he wishes he had more free time.
Yeah, past simple here because it's present regret. He wishes right now that he had more free time. Not he wishes in the past, but he wishes right now that he had more free time.
He wishes now, yeah, and we use as not real action. He wishes, yeah.
So yeah, I agree. The reason is because it's a form of subjunctive. I do agree it's a hypothetical, and that's why we always use past simple for present hypotheticals and past perfect for past hypotheticals. It explains conditionals very clearly. You know, second conditional is past simple, and it's a present hypothetical, and third conditional is past perfect, and it's a past hypothetical. Exactly the same with wish. Okay. Come on to number 11. Last one. Natalia, try number 11.
I didn't recognize you. How long have you been having a beard?
Well, what do you think? Do you think we say I have a beard or I am having a beard?
Have you had a beard? Because
exactly.
we don't use continuous forms with have.
With some haves and some haves we do.
Haves, yeah.
It depends on the have, because if you have a car or have a brother or have a problem or have a beard,
in the meaning of we have something like
in the meaning of possess, yeah, in the meaning of possess, it's a stative verb. But sometimes you use have for eat or drink. Have a coffee, have breakfast. They are dynamic. Have a shower is an action, so it's dynamic. Yeah, so we do say I am having a shower, I am having breakfast, I am having a coffee. We do say all of those, but we don't say I'm having a beard or I'm having a brother. You know, it's I have a brother, I have a beard. So when it's stative, it will always be in simple. When it's dynamic, okay, yeah, then we can use it in have been having. He has been having breakfast for the last, I don't know, hour. Maybe he's a very slow eater, but he has been having breakfast is correct. Yeah, if you've got a for or a since there or something like that. Okay, excellent, Natalia. That was really good. Let's go on to another student now. And I don't think I've seen Well, I think I've seen everybody else. So let's go on to Haymal. I haven't seen you for a long time, certainly. Haymal, are you with us?
Yeah, hi Dave. Yeah, hi Dave.
Notice, by the way, everyone, I just
Yeah,
said
okay.
I haven't seen Haymal for a long time because see is a stative verb. Not always, again, like have, there are some dynamic forms of see, but usually see, when you mean see, when you mean like watch, see, look, it's stative. But when you mean meet somebody, okay, I am seeing Peter later. Yeah, you can see that, certainly. You can say that, certainly. Sorry. Okay, so Haymal, do you want to do number 12 or do you want to do pictures? It's up to you.
Uh, yeah,
Completely up
I
to you.
like to talk about this book.
Please, excellent. What is the book?
Yeah,
Excellent.
it's the Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck.
Okay, The Grapes of
I
Wrath
really
by
like
John
this novel.
Steinbeck. Excellent, excellent. He's very famous. Steinbeck's very famous for Of Mice and Men. Yeah, that's one of his biggest books. But Grapes of Wrath is probably maybe even his biggest book, perhaps his best known. So tell us
No,
about the
it is.
story.
I think the biggest book. Yeah, I think his biggest book is East of Eden.
East of Eden. Okay, perhaps it. Yeah, indeed. He's
Yeah,
got a lot of very famous works. Yeah. And so
yeah,
tell us the story. Tell us a little
yeah,
bit about The Grapes of Wrath. I've never read it, being honest. I have never read it.
yeah. Basically, this book is about the Depression era of United States in 1930s. It is about Oklahomian farmers. They they sell their lands to the bank, and they are sort of forced to do so. So they sell off their lands and they migrates to uh, westward to California
They
because
migrate to
they
California.
got some, yeah, so looking for much greener pastures.
Good.
So they get some leaflets that saying that they could earn much more money as a agricultural workers picking up peaches. So they they pack up they are all things and get their truck ready, and they depart to California. And the this story is centered around Tom Joad. He is a convicted murderer.
Okay.
He gets released on the very day that his family is going to depart, but he doesn't know that without knowing anything, that he comes to his place, and he sees that every house is abandoned, and he meets pastor there, whose name is Casey. But now he was used to be a pastor. Now he is not anymore. He has lost his faith in Jesus.
Okay,
So
good.
he has become sort of a materialist. I think it is there is very he says his transformation in this book. Yeah. Anyway.
So he's lost his faith. He's become an
Yeah.
atheist, yeah?
Yeah, atheist. Yeah, he thinks then he tells Tom what's happened to the people, and they find his family just in time, and Casey ask them to take him also wherever they go, because he doesn't have any family.
Yeah,
He's
okay, he
he
doesn't
used
have
to be a
anybody.
pastor.
Yeah, he wants to belong in a group again, in a community.
Yeah. Yeah, so they have their pa, and their grandma, grandpa, Tom's brother, Tom's sister, and she is married to a young man, but he is not very a strong person. He jumps from one project to one project. He takes not online, that postal courses those days.
What? Oh,
Postal
postal
courses.
courses. That's how courses worked. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
all
postal courses.
mail courses. Yeah, mail courses. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah. So he has a lot of plans to changing his career options, but he's just dreaming. He's not actually
Okay.
doing anything practically.
Yeah,
But
I think there
in
are a lot of
contrast,
people
him
around. You do, yeah.
Tom is very practical guy. So the story doesn't have much drama in it, very interesting plot, but it represent it
Represents,
represents what
represents, yeah,
yeah it
represents.
represents what's happened to the Oklahomian migrants, because those days they were called very derogatory, that Okies, and they were considered as they bringing all sorts of diseases and
Yeah, okay, I see. So there was a
all
yeah.
sorts of problems to California. So yeah, you know those days the Chinese were treated like that. Now even these American workers themselves were treated like sort of pariah. So
Pariahs, yeah,
so
pariahs. That's a good word for it.
yeah.
Certainly,
So
outcasts. You can also say outcasts. They were
yeah,
treated like outcasts, aliens. You might say as well. Though be careful, because aliens obviously means beings from another planet. But sometimes you can use it like this. So it's one of the themes is about belonging in a community and being outside of that community. Yeah, and not belonging in a community. Yep.
yeah. So after you reading this book, I think you will change your opinion about the Oklahomian migrant workers, because the media represents them as like stealing things, raping women, but they are very poor, oppressed section.
Yeah, they're people that need to go
That
somewhere
real
new.
situation that they have human qualities. Yeah, the final scene of the book, but when they come to California,
Uh-huh.
they realize that the reality in California is totally different, because they can't find work. They have to work for very low wages, and
Uh-huh.
uh, they will hire you morning and fire at the evening, such situation. So
So there's no
finally
stability. There's no
they
job
almost
security.
yeah they meet flood, and at the final in the final scene they find a dying man from starving, and
They save a dying man from starving, or they find a dying man who is starving.
yeah by breastfeeding him, because Tom's sister, her name was Rose of Sharon.
Uh-huh.
So I told about the husband. He runs away along the journey, because he can't take these difficulties,
Uh-huh.
and she yeah her baby born still.
Her
So
baby was
baby
born
born
still,
still,
yeah.
and
Okay, the baby was born still.
yeah,
She miscarried.
yeah. So mother asked her to breastfeed that dying man and save his life. So that is the final scene. It is very touching scene,
Uh-huh.
and but I think the major character of this book is Casey, because he from pastor he becomes a revolutionary, leader of the organizing working class, because at one point uh, uh, they try to arrest police try to arrest Tom.
Uh-huh.
They, they are just arresting these migrant workers. So but Casey come from nowhere, and he I think he attacks the officers from stones or something, like, or
Okay. He
hits him,
throws stones at
something
the
like that.
officers. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think he hits one of officers, and Tom's runs away. But I think that Casey also gets away from the incident. But anyway, then they miss Casey. But finally, he meets Tom meets again Casey, because Tom work as a scab, because
Works
they
as a
live in
scab.
such a hard situation, works as a scab. So Casey at that point come as the working class leader, asking them to not to be scab, and he realizes that it is
What do
Casey,
you
and
mean
Casey
scab?
says,
Do you mean somebody who doesn't go
yeah,
on the
because
protest?
strike breakers,
Yeah, exactly. A
strike
strike
breakers,
breaker.
because
Oh, okay, I was just checking. Yeah, yeah. Well, they were called scabs. Yeah, it was a derogatory term
yeah,
which
because
the
yeah,
socialists used.
yeah,
Fascinating.
because
Well,
It really
Casey is
reminds
the
me.
leader of the strike.
Yeah, it reminds me, the way you're telling the story, it reminds me of Jack London's The Iron Heel. It really does. I was actually really surprised how, I knew his books like White Fang and the other dog one or wolf one that he does, White Fang, and he does another one, Call of the Wild or something like that. But when I read The Iron Heel, I realized it was so political. It was all about leading the workers against the evil
Yeah.
Rothschilds or Rockefellers, and it showed me how conspiratorial the left wing were back in those days. And I see the same when you're telling me about the Grapes of Wrath. I see that very often revolutionary writers were very popular back in those days at the turn of the 20th century. I think there were a lot about.
Yeah.
So fantastic, Hemal. I've got to move on now. Let's go over to Tao. I can see Tao waiting
Yeah, okay.
patiently. So Tao, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. So what would you prefer to do today, Tao? You can do pictures or you can do grammar. It's up to you. Or something else
Um,
where you tell us a story that you've read or a film that you've seen.
it has been a long time. I joined. I mean, it has been a long time since I joined, and so I'm not familiar with this one like grammar, but yeah, it's not bad to try.
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, if you prefer doing a picture story, you can do that. Or if you have something
No,
to
no, that's
retell,
fine. That's fine. This one, that's fine.
okay.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
start on number. It's 12 actually. It looks like number 2, but it's 12. There it is. So you got
Okay,
to use
yeah,
happen.
yeah. Um, you would cry too if it happened to you.
Excellent. Yeah. What conditional is this?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. It's just
Doesn't matter.
I
Yeah,
think
as
I
long
think
as you're getting
so.
it right, it's second conditional. It doesn't matter as long as you're getting it right and you got it right. So yeah, that's second conditional. Would in one part in the main clause and past simple in the subordinate clause. Okay, number 13.
I tell him as soon as he arrives.
I will tell him as soon as he. Go on, say that again.
He
Go on.
arrives.
Excellent. Well done. There's a very common mistake here where students say will arrive, and we never do that after subordinating conjunctions that refer to the future. Yeah, until, unless, before, after, as soon as.
Yeah,
It's the same as
even
if.
though he hasn't arrived, right? But we still say he arrives, not he will arrive.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
don't use a will when we talk, even though we're talking about the future, and I think in a lot of other languages you do use a will in that part. But yeah, we don't. Okay, excellent. Number 14.
I can't get used to getting up
Very
at 5
good.
a.m. every day.
Very good. Getting up. We need a gerund here. And a lot of students say to get because they see the 2 and they think 2 plus infinitive. Yeah, it's always 2
Okay.
plus infinitive, but it's not. We do use 2 plus gerund when the 2 is a preposition. And we know it's a preposition because you can say, I can't get used to the weather. I can't get used to noun. And that's showing us that it's a gerund here that we need. 2 plus infinitive, you'll never be able to swap the infinitive for a noun. Never. But 2 plus gerund, you always can. Does that make sense, everybody? I mean, do tell me if I'm not making any sense. Is it clear? Yeah. Keep going on to number 15.
Yeah. Do you know what time the show finishes?
Very good. Yeah, because the TV show is on a timetable, and so we use present simple for timetables. Yeah, the show starts, the show finishes. Excellent. Keep going on to number 16.
The pickpocket denied stealing my wallet.
Good. Can you give me another correct answer in a perfect form? Because actually you can use both here. You can say denied stealing or denied. Can you put it into perfect aspect?
Deny
Okay, don't worry. I must admit,
having.
not many.
Oh, okay.
having stolen is
having
also possible.
stolen.
I just want to offer it as a possibility here because both are correct. You can say denied stealing, denied having stolen, and I
Okay,
don't
I
really.
see. I can see the difference. Okay, yeah.
There's not really much difference in meaning with deny and admit when you use the simple gerund or when you use the perfect gerund. There's not much difference in meaning, being honest. You can use one or the other. I think we usually use the simple one, being honest, but you will see in literature sometimes the perfect one being used, and yeah, denied having stolen. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, keep going on to number 17.
The travel agent advised us not to travel in that region.
Fantastic. This is very good, guys. There's not many more wrong answers today. Very, very good. Excellent. Keep going, Tao. You're doing wonderful. Wonderfully.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm late. How long have you been waiting for?
Good.
How long have you been waiting?
Yeah, we don't usually put a for there because the how long represents how long have you been waiting? Yeah, we don't need a for there, but yeah, how long have you been waiting? Excellent. Well done on the tenses.
Maybe waiting for me. Yeah. How long have you been waiting?
Yes, yeah. How long have you been waiting for me?
Waiting for
Exactly.
me. Yes,
How
that
long
makes
have you
sense,
been
yeah.
waiting for the bus? Excellent. Okay, number 19.
As soon as I saw her red eyes, I realized she has cried, or she had been crying, or
Very good. Yeah,
she
had
had
been
cried.
crying. Had been crying is best
Had
here
been crying.
because cry is so dynamic. Yeah, you do use it very often in the continuous forms. You do say she is crying or she has been crying, and I realized she had been crying. It's not stative at all. Cry, it's very dynamic, and I would say that that's the main reason why you see perfect continuous. It's when you've got a really dynamic verb like wait. Wait is very dynamic. What other ones have we had? We've had watch is very dynamic. Yeah, and live and work.
Yeah. Would you scroll up to the
Uh-huh.
sentence? I think I had a question that time I didn't ask you. Like,
Please.
Karen is late, and she might have got lost.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that sentence? Yeah, I just wonder what is different. What's the difference if I just say she might get lost?
That means now, when you say she might get lost or future, it's usually future might get lost. Yeah. So she needs to take a map because she might get lost. Yeah. Or she needs to take her phone, because she might get lost. Certainly, that's always about future. In fact, yeah, it's about future. It's not even about present very often. She might get lost. Well, it might be if you're talking about every week. Yeah, every week she comes here and she might get lost, so she ought to take a map. So present or future might get lost. Might have got lost is when you're saying, she might have already got lost in the past. And so it's a past deduction. She might have got lost. She must have got lost. She can't have got lost. All three of those are about their past deductions. You're making a deduction about the past. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Very good.
Yeah,
good question.
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And well done for have been crying. That's one of the hardest ones on here. What do you think for number 20?
We have known about it since last week.
Very good. How did you know that you needed to use present perfect?
Maybe since last week.
Very good. Excellent. That's what I like students to say. Just focus always on the signal words because it really is the signal words. It's the since, it's the for that demand perfect tenses. They really do demand it. So excellent. Well done. Go on.
Yeah, but can I ask about one side? When people say when we have the word never, right? We used to use perfect tense.
With ever and never? Yeah, with ever and never we usually do.
But I noticed that my boss, he used the never. Like not in perfect tense, he say like we always need to update the information of customer because they never tell us when they change anything.
They never tell us, yeah? They never tell us.
Yeah, they never tell us. Not like they have never told us.
Yeah. Well, they never tell us is slightly different from they have never told us. They are slightly different.
Would you mind explaining it to me?
Sure. You know, basically the difference is with present simple, it's they never tell us every week, every month, every year. They never ever tell us. And you mean about past, present, and future all at the same time. You're talking generally and saying that this is a general fact. You know, it's a general fact which is always true. So I would say they never tell us that's always the case. Let's put it like that. Always the case.
Yeah.
But
It must be that guy. He said that. Yeah, they never tell us, so we need
they
to
have
update.
they have never told us. It means, you know, not until this moment they have never told us. But maybe in the future things will change. And so that's the main difference. When you say they have never told us, it sounds like, oh, perhaps next week, maybe they'll change. You know, maybe they will tell us next week. Whereas the first one, not in the past, not in the present, and not in the future, they never tell us. And so
Yeah, it's how they are, who they
it's
are.
it's
Yeah.
you know, so never, even though it is a signal for perfect tenses, it can be used in present simple as well. You know, he never
Yeah.
smokes just means he never does it. He never has done it, and he never will do it. But he has never smoked just means he has never done it. It doesn't have that future involved as well in the perfect form. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Okay, excellent. Very good. So very good for that exercise. Let's now move on to a new student. Let's move on to Irina, because she's waiting patiently as well here. Hello, Irina. What would you prefer to do? Do you prefer me to say Irina or Irina? I don't know how to say it.
Irina, not.
Irina.
Irina.
Irina, yeah, Irina.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you like to do today, Irina? Would you prefer to do an exercise or?
We can continue to do exercises.
Okay, I've got an exercise on like as or so such or phrasal verbs.
No matter.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Always
Yeah.
put a doesn't there, otherwise, you know, to make the matter negative. So it doesn't matter. So well, let's try like and as. It's actually really tricky, like and as. It's very often the cause, and we do so and such as well, but I think so and such is a little bit easier. But like and as can be tricky. Hold on, we'll go back a little bit here. Here it is. This is like and as. It's actually the cause of a lot of different mistakes here. So what do you think for the first one?
He smokes a chimney.
So is it like a chimney or as a chimney? And we often say this, he smokes like a chimney if they smoke a lot.
Maybe as a chimney.
No, not as a chimney. I think I gave you the answer. He smokes like a chimney. Yeah, he smokes like a chimney. And the reason is we use like plus noun. Yeah, like is a preposition. Like is a preposition, so it's like plus noun. Now, as can be a preposition, but it's quite rare. So like plus noun preposition, and it means similar to. Yeah. He smokes similar to a chimney. That's the idea. Yeah, just like a chimney produces a lot of smoke, he produces a lot of smoke. He blows out a lot of smoke. He smokes like a chimney. But as is usually plus clause, usually. So I mean a subject and a verb. Yeah. And so as is a subordinating conjunction. It's not a preposition. Well, it is a preposition sometimes. And let's quickly mention when it is. As is only a preposition, as plus noun, when you mean function, when you're talking about the function of something. So somebody's job, he works as a doctor. She works as a scientist. That's certainly as being used correctly because it's job or function. You would also say something like this. We use a plate as an ashtray. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you use a plate as an ashtray, you're talking about the function of the plate. And so then you can use as a preposition. But most of the time it's like being used as a preposition. And so this is why we say look like, sound like. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. What do you think for number 2?
Please do exactly as I say.
Good. Excellent. Why must it be as?
As
Is this as functioning as a preposition or as functioning as a subordinating conjunction?
Maybe conjunction.
It is, definitely. This is a conjunction, yeah? And when I say clause, I mean subject, I, and verb, say. That's what a clause is. It's always got a subject and a verb. So you can see that this one is, yeah, as is functioning as a subordinating conjunction, but like in number 1 is functioning as a preposition. Excellent, Irina. Keep going. Number 3.
I
look
like my mother. I'm
excellent.
similar. Yeah,
excellent.
Similar.
So look like, is this similar to? Yeah, and it's always look like, sound like. Excellent.
Okay, sorry, yes, like, as, or nothing here. So number 4.
This cow smells wonderful.
Very good.
Or
Nothing
frightful.
here. Very good. So we use look and smell and taste plus adjective. Very good. So nothing for number 4. Number 5.
This tastes
Tastes.
As if you haven't put any salt in.
Very
Have you?
good. Good, excellent. This tastes as if you haven't put any salt in, have you? And so we use this as if, as though, as if, as though, and you see it very often in literature. Yeah, to say a plus clause. So these are also subordinating conjunctions, as if, as though. But I want to make something clear here. They are plus clause. And that's in this particular one, this tastes as if. A lot of native speakers will say this tastes like you haven't put any salt in. And that's perfectly okay. We do use like as a subordinating conjunction, like plus clause. We do that in everyday English. But in academic English, it's wrong. So you shouldn't do it at university or something like that. But actually, we use like plus clause all the time in everyday English, even though they say we shouldn't do. Okay, so excellent, Irina. Well done. Number 6.
I was saying we need to increase our sales this year. As I was saying.
Good. But in everyday English, some people would say, like I was saying, they would, because they use this top one, like plus clause, everyday English. They do. But as I was saying is better. And I want you to use it if you're writing an IELTS essay or an FCE essay. I prefer to see as and then clause, certainly. So very good, Irina. All correct so far. On to number 7.
Fortunately, our new boss is nothing like our old one.
Yeah, like plus noun, and this is similar to, he's not at all like our old one. He's nothing like our old one. Excellent. Keep going.
We can use my office as a meeting room.
Very good. You've got all of these. Yeah, I thought this would be much harder. I thought there'd be some mistakes, but really, really good. This is function. This is the as plus noun, function or job. Okay, number 9.
The beds in the hotel were so hard. It was like like sleeping on the floor.
Like here, because sleeping is a gerund. Yeah, and so it is like plus noun. It was like sleeping on the floor. It's not a clause. We don't have a subject and a verb. It is so we need that top one, like plus noun, similar to. Very good. Number 10.
That sounds as like or as.
So it's a noun here. It's a noun, and I want you to think of
like,
look like, sound like, taste like, feel like, plus noun. So yeah, that sounds like Pat's car. Excellent. Keep going on to number 11.
I worked as a waiter in London.
As a waiter in London? Yeah, you really got this. You work as something. It's a function, just like office as a meeting room. Number 12.
You can't go out dressed like that.
Very good. Yeah, like that. So like plus a pronoun here. So it's like plus noun. Excellent. Okay, number 13.
As usual, we turned up 15 minutes late.
Excellent. Some people would say like usual there, but it's wrong. It should be as usual. It collocates very nicely. Okay, number 14.
Your hair feels like very soft. As very soft. Nothing.
Nothing. Your hair feels very soft, just like smells wonderful, feels soft. If you use feel or smell and then the adjective, wonderful, soft, there's not going to be any as or like there. It's just feels soft, smells wonderful, looks great. Yeah, we say it looks great, because look plus adjective. Okay, number 15.
Like most people, I had all household jobs.
Yeah, similar to most people, like plus noun. Excellent. Number 16.
You look a bit pale.
Good. Very good. Nothing here. Just like feel, adjective, look,
adjective. Pale is an adjective. Very good. Number 17.
As expected,
Good.
sales went up after the advertising campaign.
Exactly. This is as plus clause, isn't it? Subordinating conjunction. We expected. We got subject and verb. Okay, number 18.
This wine's delicious. It tastes really smooth and fruity.
Yeah, just taste and adjective again. Look and adjective, taste and adjective, feel an adjective. It's going to have nothing at all. Okay, excellent. One more now, Irina. One more, number 18. Number 19, sorry.
That cake smells as if it's burning.
Very good. This as if or as though is very common. You keep an eye out for it in literature, certainly. So it smells as if it's burning. Okay, well, I'll let everybody now do one each, and we'll go round in a circle because we only got 5 minutes left. So we're going to move back to Abdulrahman. Are you still here, Abdulrahman? Give him a second. And if not, we'll move on to... Can't remember who came next after Abdullah. Well, let's move on to Haymal. Haymal, what do you think for number 20? But yeah.
There are a few points to discuss, like who will organize the
Good.
food.
Like who will organize the food? Like who will organize the food, or such as? And I would say that in an academic essay, you ought to use such as rather than like there. Such as is considered better in academic English than like plus a whole clause. And you've got like plus a whole clause there. But you're right, in everyday English, everybody would say like there, 100%. Excellent. Okay, let's move on to Natalia. What do you think for number 21?
I didn't recognize your voice. You sound just like my sister.
Just like your sister?
Like your sister. Yeah.
Excellent. You sound just like your sister. 22, Tal, what do you think?
The film sounds interesting. Shall I read?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, nothing here. So nothing for 22. Let's go on to Tal now for 23. I just want to put it all round in a circle very quickly. 23, Tal?
The air conditioning wasn't working and the office was like an oven.
Like an oven. Excellent. Like an oven. Fantastic. For 24, let's move on to who's next? Irina again, I think.
Let's have a big party. As we used to do years ago.
I understand you using as here because of the clause, yeah? Let's have a big party as we used to do years ago. Both are possible here because so many people would use, I think in everyday English, so many people would use a like plus clause there. They would. But let's have a big party as we used to do years ago. I would prefer an as in anything academic there. Okay, excellent. I can't remember who's next. Who's next?
Yeah, me.
Okay, Haymal, 25.
Cruel sports such as fox hunting should be banned.
Okay, you're all finding this too
Such
easy.
as.
We're going to go on to a different exercise for the last 3 minutes. We're going to do a little bit on phrasal verbs for the last 3 minutes. And Irina, you're first, I think. We won't bother with so such. Let's try the phrasal verbs. I just think they're much harder, and I want to try to make sure we're learning new words. Okay, what do you think for number 1, Irina? I invited 20 people, but only 2. Use a phrasal verb.
Appeared.
And I want you to use a phrasal verb that means appeared or came.
Oh, maybe came.
I want you to use a phrasal verb, so like a verb and a preposition.
Come.
I want
Come.
like like
Have came.
I want you to use a phrasal verb here. So a phrasal verb is like a verb plus preposition. Yeah, verb plus preposition. Like look for, look for is a phrasal verb, or look after is a phrasal verb, or there are a lot of phrasal verbs. Get up is a phrasal verb. Get on with is a phrasal verb. Can you think of one which means appeared or came? If I give you the first word, you'll know it. Only 2 people turned. Turned up. Yeah, only 2 people turned up. Only 2 people showed up. Yeah, you can use either there. Both would work very well. They mean exactly the same as only two people appeared, only two people came. But we very often say only two people turned up, only two people showed up. It's important to learn the phrasal verbs just because they're so common in everyday English. You know, everybody's using them. We learned turned up and showed up, in my opinion, before we learn appeared. We know we hear our parents using the phrasal verbs before we learn these like difficult Latin words like separate, or I suppose appear is Latin. I'm not sure. But what do you think for number 2, Irina? Try number 2, and then we'll go around. Sorry.
They go apart last year.
Not
Right forward.
you're close, but not quite. Anybody else? What do you think for separated? Anybody?
They
Went
went
away.
apart or
They
something.
split.
They split. Which preposition? They split. It's good,
Broke.
Tal. Split.
Mm,
Up.
Split up. They split up last year, or they broke up last year. Both correct. Yeah, they're both very common phrasal verbs for when two people stop a relationship. They broke up. They split up. Okay. Number 3. Anybody? The concert was completely
Sold out.
sold out. Well done. Sold out. Number 4. The journalist. Yeah, when you create a story,
Made up.
you go on.
Made
Hang on.
up.
Made up the
the
story. Well
Made
done.
up the
Made up.
story.
We use this make up, you know, again, parents will say it to kids, are you making it up? And they mean, are you lying? Yeah. Are you making this up again? Are you lying again? Excellent. Okay. And we'll do a couple more. These shoes have, anybody know this one?
Worn out.
Worn
Worn
out. Very good.
now.
When something is worn out, it's not possible to use it anymore. You've used it so much that it's not possible to use. Okay, somebody not hey Mal, because he knows these phrasal verbs too well. Number 6, not hey Mal. I
Check out.
not checked out, but you're close. You've got the right preposition. Yeah, there's a couple of different ways you can use it without. Sorry about my machine there. It shouldn't be. So this is calculated. Hey, Mal, tell them what it is. I know you know it. What is it?
Figure out.
Sorry?
Figure out.
Figured out or
I figured
worked
out the
out.
question.
Yeah. Figured out or worked out. Exactly. Worked out is also correct. We worked out, or I worked out the cost of the holiday. Figured out, worked out. Okay, we'll hold it there. We'll do the rest next time, but I'll come with lots of these exercises as well. But I'll leave it up to you as always, whether you want to retell a story or use the pictures to retell a story or do some grammar or do some vocabulary. I've got loads of these exercises. There were millions of them. So yeah, I'll see you possibly next week, but it won't be at the start of the week. If I do, it will probably be on Friday, like today, because I'm not around in the earlier in the week. But I'll let you know what time, or I'll let a new student choose. That's what I like. I like new students to choose the time. But if they don't, it will probably be Friday. And I do like morning, if I'm honest. I do like this time, and I see lots of you are able to come at this time, so that's great. But thanks everybody for coming. You did really well on the exercises. Really good performance. I'll see you all next week, perhaps. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
See you. Thank you.
My
Yeah.
pleasure, guys. My pleasure.
Yeah.
See you
Yeah.
all
Have a
soon.
good weekend.
Thank you very much. We will do it. It's
Yes, ma'am.
looking beautiful weather. I'm going to go paddleboarding in about 10 minutes or half an hour. I'm going to go out on the sea. I'm going to have to pump up my paddleboard first. That's the hardest
really?
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's lovely here. It's really good weather. It's supposed to be 20 degrees
Okay.
today. 15
Yeah.
degrees is warm enough, but 20 degrees is fantastic.
Yeah. Warm and sunny today, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's warm and
Yeah.
sunny in Nottingham, is it? You're in? Yeah.
Norwich.
Norwich, sorry, Norwich.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Nottingham. Norwich. Yeah,
Okay.
we stayed there not long ago. We had a lovely time, and we took the paddle. Well, we didn't take the paddleboards, but we went paddleboarding on the Broads. Yeah, on the Norfolk Broads. Yeah, is that Norwich?
Rotherham.
Okay,
Is
sorry,
it?
my geography is
Okay. Yeah.
terrible.
Whatever.
My
Yeah.
geography of
That's
Britain
fine.
is terrible. It really is terrible. Okay, see
Yeah.
you
Me
all soon,
neither.
guys. See you all soon.
Yeah. See you.
Bye bye. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, how do I turn this off? Never know. Is it that?